Hi, I'm Godslayer. Almost everyone who's ever picked up a video game controller is familiar with the works of Shigeru Miyamoto. Miyamoto gave us franchises like Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, F-Zero, and Star Fox, among others. He was raised in the Kyoto area of Japan and was naturally inspired by his surroundings. The first game I'm going to look at is Super Mario Bros. 3. This game sold over 10 million units on the NES and is part of the best-selling franchise of all time. The game features several unique suits for Mario, including the interesting Tanuki suit. The suit is modeled after a Japanese raccoon dog often seen in statues around Japan. The Tanuki is known for its mischievous and shape-shifting nature, and is often depicted with oversized testicles. Mario uses the Tanuki's power to shapeshift into a statue depicting Jizo. Jizo is a bodhisattva in Japanese Buddhism and is known as a protector of children, including unborn children resulting from stillbirth, miscarriage, and abortions. Among other powers, his staff can open the gates of hell. Now this is pretty heady stuff for a bonus suit that Mario wears. Most players, especially in the US, had no idea that, in essence, Mario was being depicted as Buddha. The statue only lasts for a few seconds on screen, and comes with the power of momentary invulnerability. I personally only learned of this connection after taking a class on Buddhism while studying in Japan. Thanks to a professor trying to find common ground with students, I now know that Mario is indeed a Buddhist. In the early days of Nintendo, there were many guidelines regarding the content allowed into games. Some of these rules regarded disallowing graphic content such as depictions of rape, nudity, drug use, profanity, and many other moral issues. Before the ESRB existed, this was one way to ensure that all games could be marketed to children, which is ironic in itself as many parents had their own issues with this strategic marketing ploy. Rule number 7 in Nintendo of America's video game content guidelines reads as follows. Nintendo will not approve games which reflect ethnic, religious, nationalistic, or sexual stereotypes of language. This includes symbols that are related to any type of racial, religious, nationalistic, or ethnic group, such as crosses, pentagrams, God, gods. Roman mythological gods are acceptable, apparently. Satan, hell, or Buddha. We've already seen Mario clearly depicted as Buddha wearing a suit taken from an oftentimes sexually depicted animal, all while eating magic mushrooms throughout his adventure, not to mention his stark Italian stereotypical accent adopted in later games. Seems to me like rule number 7 was completely destroyed at this point. The Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo also, by Miyamoto, has an equally interesting Buddhist moment in level 3. The world of Zelda is located in Hyrule, and seemingly has little connection with the real world. Later games even include a vast backstory featuring gods and goddesses who help maintain the balance of the universe by crafting the mystical Triforce. All of the levels in this game are modeled after symbols such as an eagle, crescent moon, and a skull. The most surprising symbol has to be the map of level number 3, which is a left-facing swastika. This might seem shocking and appalling to a Western audience, but the swastika has actually been associated with Buddhism for hundreds of years before its evil usage during World War II. In Buddhism, the swastika represents Dharma, universal harmony, and the balance of opposites. Post-World War II, the swastika is often found facing left, to further disassociate it with its more sinister incarnation. It's still a common sight in Asia, and I've personally witnessed it as a Buddhist marker in Japan and Korea. While Miyamoto was able to find some leeway with the censors, another game he created titled Devil World never made its way to the US because of religious iconography. The game was a Pac-Man clone that featured characters squaring off against the devil, armed with crosses and Bibles. The censorship of this game is even more interesting when considering that Link carries a shield with a cross prominently emblazoned on it throughout The Legend of Zelda. It should be noted that Nintendo did make exceptions to preserve the content of some games. Overall, Nintendo's rules make me wonder how Ghosts and Goblins, Final Fantasy, Castlevania, and countless others made it to the US. Many did get censored, such as the game Godslayer, which took the title of Crystallis in America. As you may have noticed, I've adopted Godslayer as my ID in honor of this incredible and often overlooked game. I hope you enjoyed the info, and I'm sure glad that we ended up with any number of games that did make it to America. This is Godslayer, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.